We do have a few people that want to speak. I'm going to start with Rob Sabinski.
I came to this hotel in 1984, and like Tom, I'm an East Coaster. And I said, okay, I'll go there for a couple of years, but then I'm out. I'm going back to the East Coast. And I will tell you, I still reside in San Francisco 23 years later. I worked with Holger for 15 years. And the reason, when people ask me, how did you stay in that job for 15 years? I said, well, there's a bunch more back at the hotel, and I look like an infant. Fenna, Willie, JJ, Mandy, Lisa, I mean, on, Bill Marvin. The amount of time spent together. And it was really, I would say, because I never once had to apologize to a customer for something that didn't go wrong and didn't immediately get corrected in this hotel. And that's how I could stay here. And people say, how could that happen in a hotel of that size and that magnitude and that many moving parts? And I say, great leadership. Holger was an amazing leader. He was a leader, as Michael pointed out, well ahead of his time. Knowing that we were in a neighborhood that had been promised redevelopment for years, Holger wasn't going to wait. He went into the neighborhood to do it himself. And the difference he made, I had the honor this week of saying bon voyage to a customer who was retiring after 41 years at the American Medical Association, Bob Hobart. And we laughed about Holger. And Felix was there from surgeons and so many customers from Chicago that it was 12 years ago Holger retired? 10? We were in that very hotel, and the number of people that came from the Chicago community to wish Holger well in his retirement. And I couldn't help but reflect on the people that Holger has connected in his lifetime. While he biologically only had one terrific daughter in Bootsy, everybody in this room looked at Holger in a paternal way, whether you were an equal and you appreciated his forward thinking, or you were someone who worked in this building and just respected how he managed things. Because how he manages, he let you do your job. He held you accountable. You would be in trouble, as Willie would say. He could be very stern. And I was on the other side of that desk several times. But he always was good with the compliments. He always was quick to point out success. He was always quick to put credit somewhere else and not really in his own lap. And a humble man, but a man that had amazing style, grace, and just panache that I don't think we'll see again in this business. So, Bootsy and Tom, condolences. I love you both, and I love your father and your mother. Thank you. JJ?
My name is James Johnson. I was the catering director at this hotel from '87 to 2000, and I'm really humbled by the opportunity just to speak for a few words. Bootsy, of course, and Tom, my condolences. I'll keep it short. I have a few things I want to share. When I was hired at this hotel, I never flew out here to meet Holger. Everything was done over the phone. I spoke to Holger. We hit it off on the phone. I was working at the Waldorf. I was already with the Hilton family. I'm sure he made a few phone calls and checked me out. But that was the style of Holger. He's like, okay, you come on over. And when I got here, that obviously just made me want to even work harder for somebody who had enough faith in me to take me for who I was without going through the 4 or 5 layers of interviews that we're all used to doing. And I got here, there were pigeons flying around in the grand ballroom. We were renovating. It was the exciting time of building this hotel and putting outing on building 2. And I'll always remember a couple of reflections. One was standing in the lobby with Holger in April of '88 when the hotel finally opened, opening day. And the first guest came and they gave him roses and the whole thing. And he just stood there, and I happened to be with him, and he just looked around and he goes, I can't believe it. I can't believe it that we're open, that we've opened this hotel. And we really threw a heck of a party. And Holger was so supportive. In the party, I think the whole city came to this party. And even through my tenure, and probably even to today, there are still people out there in San Francisco who talk about the opening party that we did. But that was because of Holger's support. You know, Holger took the information he needed from the leaders of our company, and he filtered it. And he kept some of it away from us, and the others, he was like, this is what we're going to do. And he had his own vision and his own direction, and by doing that, he gave us the opportunity to lead and to not be worried about consequences. We all made our own right decisions. And we knew, as Tom mentioned, the Holge, that was, well, what's the Holge going to do? What is he going to say? And that's the way it was for us. We wanted to prove ourselves, to make him proud, to keep him from the firing line, if you will. At one point, a funny story, we had the spirit of Kaizen came around in the 90s. This was the Japanese spirit of, Rob, help me, what the heck was it? So, continuous improvement, of course. And so Holger, in his frustration one day, he goes, we're going to go to German Kaizen, and I'll show you what we're going to do. And that was the way it was, we could take it so far. Holger had a sign in his office, I always loved it. It said, selling is like shaving. If you don't do it every day, you're a bum. And he held it right over his door every time I came in. And being catering director, I had a unique opportunity and relationship with Holger. First of all, Holger loved food, he loved the art of the sale, and he loved tinkering with menu production and menu creation. And he'd sit there and he'd say, put some bay shrimp on that. Let's give him a little extra shrimp. Let's build up that menu a little. Let's take care of this guest. I'd sit with Holger, we'd have a special event coming, maybe it might be Tom Costello coming in for his annual luncheon, and we'd sit. Holger wanted to do the menu. He wanted to be involved. Let's get the chef in here. Let's put it together. And it really created that spirit of esprit de corps and camaraderie right from the start. When you left the office, you knew that you had the support of your boss and that you could go out there and lead the rest of the troops. And so I think I'll close with that. The memories I have for Holger, I'm lucky enough that I did fly out here for his retirement. I'm currently at the New York Hilton. I'm still part of the family. And it was a pleasure to be here then. And I did call Holger when Olga passed, and I'd heard about Olga passing, and I got him on the phone, and I had a nice conversation with Holger. And my only regret, of course, is that I didn't follow up, and I should have maybe called him a few more times, but I have great memories of speaking to him and the relationship, and he was always very supportive of me through tough times, and I had some losses in my life when I worked here, and he was extremely supportive of me and gave me the time I needed. There was another thing about it. When my dad was passing away, he said, go to New York. We had a huge convention. He said, JJ, get out of here. You come back when you need to come back. You just don't worry about anything. Never a question, just go. And and I've used a lot of those tools that Holger's taught me. And the last thing I'll leave, he said, never let the hotel or the fire department or anybody turn off the water in your building. He said, when you turn on the water, the sludge and the whole thing, no matter what you do, never turn off the water in your building.